It's all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. Feminine Energy Coaching Helping Women Have a Better Relationship with Themselves. Founder of Elena Visionary School of Self Mastery, ex Wall Street financer, and becoming feminine energy in a new strategy. No other than Ms. Elena Donskaya. Welcome, Miss Elena. Book one review. Can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Hello, everyone, and thank you for welcoming me to your channel. I'm excited to be with all of you. I am Elena. I'm a feminine energy coach. I work with heart centered, high achieving women, helping them be successful in life, but also live in fulfillment and in a deep connections with themselves, with their body, with their intuition, becoming more confident, becoming more worthy, and just shine their light in the world. So I'm excited to share with you
Yes.
my journey,
Yes, and,
folks. Yeah.
yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. Miss Elena, thank you. And today let's talk about feminine energy is the new strategy. So let's start by defining terms. When you talk about feminine energy in a strategic and leadership context, what are the core qualities? How is it distinct from yet complementary to masculine energy?
Yeah, that's a great question. A good way to start. So, feminine and masculine energy, those are the energies that every single person have within themselves. It's not that the women only have feminine energy, it exists in every single person. But lately, thousands of years lately, we've been living more in a masculine energy in this world. And especially
Mm-hmm.
us women growing up, we've always been taught that through hard work, through determination, through logic, through achievement, we can, succeed in life. And that's how I really much was, sold on this paradigm and then this idea. That's why I end up going to, I'm an immigrant. I live in New York City. So I went to business school. I ended up working on Wall Street for many years. And I really, the strategies do work. They work until for a lot of us women, we realize that what got us there or here in success won't get us to that next level. And that next level, what I mean is like living in your purpose and also having not just success on a paper, checking the boxes, but actually feeling like we're fulfilled in life, feeling like we're connected to ourselves. And I know that I wasn't feeling that. And I know a lot of women that I work with do not feel that. So we check the boxes, but that fulfillment, that joy, that peace, that bliss, that promised, all of the things that were promised, like they do not come with when we just succeed in external reality, when we just succeed when we climb the career ladder, when we have the accolades, when we have education, when we have letters after our name. It's not enough. It's just not enough. And when a woman becomes very honest with herself, because it does take radical honesty and a radical responsibility to look into those aspects of yourself and say and ask a question, what is there else to life? Like, why am I not feeling what is promised, so to speak? So this is how my journey began, is that I had what I call now spiritual awakening, when I started to ask a lot of those questions and really questioning, what is my purpose in life? Why am I here? What am I here to do aside from just the career that I built? So this is what I want to share with you today, is that yeah, masculine energy, again, it's great, it's achievement, it's logic, it's speed, it's doing, it's competing, which is wonderful, but it can only get you so far. Only so far without really feeling that fulfillment and joy and peace in your life. So this is what I help women with now, to step more into the feminine energy, not to overtake, because feminine energy this is not a trend, this is not a fluff, this is not just the flow. It's a power. It's a power and it's a force not to reckon with. And it can be a key to people's success when they're able to hold it and when they're able to balance it within themselves.
Balance it, people, balance it. So you argue that the old model of success is burning women out. What are the specific toxic pillars of the old model that are inherently misaligned with the more feminine approach?
Well, the number one would be is that women don't trust themselves and don't trust their intuition. Because if we've been taught all along since our childhood to only rely on logic, on data, on performance and what's seen, we little by little start chip away from ourselves and from trusting our intuition, which again, every single person has, but women have more connection to it because intuition speaks to us through our body, and women are more connected to their bodies. So what happens is that we start disconnecting from that part of ourselves, and it's not that the intuition some vague esoteric term out there. It's actually that inner knowing, and it serves you really well in life. I, for example, I'm a mother of two, I'm a wife, I live in New York City, I climbed the career ladder, like I've done the things, right? But it's also when you trust your intuition, you can become that ally, that oracle, so to speak, to your partner, to your family, to making decisions, right decisions for yourself and your family, knowing what to be at the right place at the right time. So there's a lot of benefits of tapping into that wisdom within ourselves, that inner knowing. And this is what I see women being disconnected, and they don't know that because it's so subconscious and unconscious, but they are longing for it and they are looking for it without knowing where to look. And there is a beautiful saying by Buddhist monk when they say the diamonds are in your pockets, which means is that you already have everything you're looking for, but we are programmed and conditioned to look at it on outside. But we have all of that within: the love, the wealth, the power, confidence, creativity, whatever we need, it's within us. But of course, it takes time to look there and also to trust it. Sometimes that's why I work with women. I'm mentoring women to help them rebuild that connection within themselves. And then, of course, trust themselves. Not that you have to have a guru or mentor for the rest of your life. You can actually just, build it within you, then you trust it. And it serves you everywhere in life. Whether you're a CEO, whether you're an executive, whether you're a founder, an entrepreneur, whatever role you have on external and whatever role you have internally in your family dynamics, it serves you tremendously. So that's what I'm so passionate about, having women reactivate that within them.
Reactivate, people, reactivate. This is about gender, but about energy available to all. Have you seen men who consciously integrate more feminine energy transform their leadership and well being?
Yeah, definitely, especially now when we are stepping into a new era of living in a purpose. And the book actually that I want to speak about, that's not just relating to feminine energy, it's related more to this new earth that we right now birthing. A lot of us people who are sharing our voices, and a lot of men who are now, having podcasts like you, right? Like being seen in a way that they want to share the message, they want to share the truth. They also very much honor the feminine, right? A feminine meaning not just within themselves, that energy, but within their partners, within their mothers, within their daughters. They're definitely, like, my husband is a very conscious man. Like he knows the drill. Like he knows that this is very important. And a lot of men right now stepping into it, because especially in the field of entrepreneurship, because very much comparing my corporate days versus my entrepreneurship, conscious entrepreneurship days, it's a very different operating system within you when you work for someone else versus when you work for you. So when you work for you, you have to constantly do a personal work to be able to kind of like work with your demons, so to speak, when you constantly have to overcome your fears, your doubts, knowing what to invest in, right? Making those big decisions. Intuition works for everyone, men and women. It has nothing to do with gender. So I encourage men to also go into it. And sometimes, yes, it does take a healing journey to let go of some of that conditioning, to go let go of the old paradigms, to heal some of your traumas and karmas, so that you can step into that leadership where you are, the beacon of light for yourself, for your family, and for humanity in general. So yeah, it's super important.
So let's talk about the mechanics and the burnout and the shift. Burnout is often the body's final signal. What are the earlier subtle signs that the woman is operating from an imbalance, overly masculinized mode of striving?
Yeah, so the burnout could be not necessarily the final signs, but the burnout can happen not just when you work so much. The burnout happens when you think too much, when you're overthinking things, and when you are not in alignment with your own soul, with your own higher selves. So for everyone out there who's feeling burnout, yes, you could have, and I've experienced a very busy days when I worked on Wall Street, when I had two children, when I needed to commute to the city on subway for an hour each way, when I worked for 12 hours a day. You could say there's a lot of things that I was doing that could be burning me out. But when I started to connect with myself and with my truth, and when I started to meditate and really manage my energy, burnout cannot happen to those people because they constantly managing, they know the access to the life force, and they know how to manage it in the right way and when to direct it. We think 70,000 thoughts a day, and 90% of those thoughts are on autopilot, the same exact thoughts. So that's why people are burning out, because they constantly in that noise. So we highly recommend for people to take on a meditation practice, mindfulness practices, where you can really manage your energy. And you're right, like the subtle whispers happen way before that, right? So for a lot of us, we can start feeling through our body the little signs, because our soul is trying to wake us up through the whispers. But unfortunately, not a lot of people are listening to those whispers. They're waiting till the time where they get the hammer banging on the door, and then they start taking action to change something in their life, to maybe work with a therapist, or go and get on a diet, or hire a coach, or change their schedule, or do something that they can finally start managing themselves. But I'd recommend to optimize in that energy, again, not to get very spiritual and esoteric the way I love to get to, very even like very grounded. When you optimize, you are a different performer. You're a different performer, and you're so aligned with your mission, with your truth, with what you're here to do. And you can get a burnout just sitting on a couch doing nothing, because you're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy. And when you know how to not to, and you know what you're here for, you direct it in the light stream. So yeah, I hope it answered your question.
Interesting, Lena. The concept of effortless abundance is proactive in hustle culture. How do you reconcile action and ambition with effortlessness and receptivity? Is it some efforts always required?
Yeah, it's a very trendy, those trendy words: abundance, effortlessness, etc. Effortlessness only becomes when you start aligning and taking aligned action. So let me explain that. So I feel that everything that happens with us and everything that we create, the quote unquote manifestation, we manifest 24/7. We constantly manifest by being in these bodies. We always manifest, but we can manifest by default, or we can manifest with intention. 99% of people on this planet manifest by default. So whatever the energy that's flowing through them, it goes through templates. On top, upon the templates, belief system, values, programs that they have within them. And I call this energetic identity. I actually just recently trademarked this framework that I help people to identify. Your energetic identity creates your reality. So we're co-creating with the universe, we're co-creating with our higher self, we're co-creating with that unseen part of us, right? So when we in alignment with our higher self, we know that it's co-creation. For example, you get a download, you wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, you woken up, you have an idea that you want to create something in life, right? You want to, there's this idea for a product. Guess what? This idea did not only come to you. Let's say it come to five other people, because this is how universe works. If there's a creative idea, it goes to a few people, but then it waits and sees who's actually taking action to manifest that, right? If right away that same day you're like, boom, I have this idea, I just got to download, what are the steps I have to take? What are the steps I have to take? Maybe you have to make a phone call. Maybe you need to create a website. Maybe you need to talk to someone. You take action right away. You collapse timelines right away. It happens much quicker for you to achieve that. You give a signal to the universe, guys, I'm listening and I'm taking the action steps. This is where the effortlessness comes in, because universe will conspire to create this with you in your favor. You're going to get the right resources, you're going to get the right people, you're going to have people reach out to you, the doors will be open, because you are right now saying, I got the message, I want to do this, I signing up to do this. You know how many people get an idea to write a book? Same ideas. Maybe you've heard, and I know you speak about the books. There's a book called Magic, something Magic. It's by the same author that wrote Eat, Pray, Love. Big Magic. It's called Big Magic. So she talks about an idea that she got an idea download in a book, like to write a book, and she didn't have the capacity to write that book at that moment. Like she had some other projects going on, like she didn't write that. And then a few months later, or a year later, she reads a book by her friend, which with the exact same idea that she got the download for, which proves the point is that many people will get a download for certain idea, a book, a product, but only those who takes action, right? Align action to do it. So it's not like you got an idea and you're sitting on the couch doing nothing and waiting for the effortlessness manifestation to come your way. You have to do your action steps. You have to do the action steps. So this is what it means about receptivity, because once you do you walk halfway and the universe meets you halfway, but you got to go first. You got to show that I am willing to bring this into manifestation. I am bringing to bring this into fruition, to manifest that, and the universe will conspire to help you out.
Miss Elena, as a feminine energy coach, what are your short term and long term goals?
I live in the moment. Of course, there are some ideas that I want to bring into the world. I want to write a book. I want to create a product. I have ideas that I'm working on, but I also realize I don't prescribe no more to this 5-year plan. When I worked on Wall Street, I worked in the finance and strategy. And actually, my role was creating those 5-year budget plans. And I no longer want to live by that, because yes, you can create a vision board for a year, you can create an idea for 5 years, but then you have to be willing to surrender and be in a flow, because there's things that are happening that could be outside of your control. So, but yeah, I'm super optimistic about where we're going as a humanity, even though a lot of people are skeptical, especially in terms of AI. There's so many changes happening, but I trust that I'm going to be in the right place at the right time. And I'm just creating myself. My number one goal is making my vessel, my body, my energy be at its highest capacity, at its highest vibration. So when I am faced with creating something, doing something, being somewhere, I'm available. I'm available and I'm capable. So that's I live right now in a state of me constantly being in that highest version of me. And by doing that, I trust that I don't have to be in control of exactly what's going to happen in the next year, 2 years, or 5 years. So this is how I would answer this question.
Good luck to your goals and looking forward for more success. So, what will be a piece of advice for those people out there who want to be like you? Hmm.
Number one thing, do not be like me, be like you. Find who you are. Don't put anyone on pedestal. There are no gurus, there are no celebrities. Like there's nobody that you should be really putting on a pedestal and trying to be like them, because you're going to be not not at your highest, because you have to find what is it that you are here to bring. How can you be at your highest? So this is what I would recommend for anybody to do. And I'm happy to be that mentor for you to maybe discover that if you haven't yet discovered it. That's what I work with people in my breakthrough sessions, in my programs, in my courses. And the book, because you've asked me what kind of book I would recommend, I really, the books that really helped me in the beginning of my journey when I was looking for my purpose are two books by Eckhart Tolle. One of them is Power of Now, that really speaks about that you are not your mind, you're not your ego, you're so much more than that, right? And you can have your auto goals, which is horizontal line of your life. When you achieve things along the line, you maybe go to school, you create a product, you hired by a company, you get married, you have kids, like all of the things that you do on a horizontal line. But then there's also your inner purpose. This is your vertical line where you go deeper within you. So that book can really shift your paradigm and can really shift your idea on how you can look at yourself. And a second book by the same author, Eckhart Tolle, it's Tolle, his last name, is The New Earth. This is the book that really can help you if you are someone who's looking for meaning, who's looking for your purpose, who's looking for understanding what is the happening, this chaos that is right now happening on the planet, and try to make sense of the shift we're going through, because we're right now at the dawn of a new era. We are right now really at this inception point in time on the planet Earth, where a lot of us are awakening and stepping into our light, stepping into our purpose, stepping out to share ourselves with others. So that book, The New Earth, can really help you understanding what's going on outside of you and how can you apply it to your own life.
Thank you for the recommended books, Miss Elena. And you've mentioned a book that deeply influenced your journey. Could you share which one, what central idea from the catalyst your own understanding of this energy shift?
Right. So these are the two books that I just mentioned: The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, The New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. Also, a great book called Untethered Soul. um, really recommend that book. I mean, there's so many books that someone can read right now on a journey of self-discovery and a journey of understanding yourself. And I trust that, like, for example, for me, when I first started to explore these topics, I would just have synchronicities happen in my life when people recommend something, or I go to Barnes and Nobles and literally like books full of the shelves that I needed to read. So when you start like exploring those subjects, remarkable things starts happening to you. But to answer your question, these are the books that really helped me on the beginning of my journey, and this is what I would recommend to your audience.
So, Miss Elena, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in sixth season, abstract poetry and third
Oh,
season,
wow.
and my book 101 review and sixth season as well, comedy 101 and third season, and my food 101 in sixth season too. Geography 101, love letters, movie 101 review, music 101 our fifth season, Science 101, Sex 101 in its fourth season, Trivia 101, Law 101, Mental Health 101, Motivation 101, Entrepreneurship 101, of course, my Bible verses 101 are my baby podcasts. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Elena, to close with an invitation, if someone left this conversation and committed to just one shift this week to honor their feminine energy as a strategy, what would you recommend they do?
I would recommend one morning to really spend with yourself before you take, once you wake up, do not take your phone, do not scroll social media. Spend time in solitude, in stillness with yourself. Connect to your own heart. Very simply, put one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Breathe. Close your eyes. Connect. Connect with yourself. Then walk up to the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. You are enough. You are enough for who you are already. What else can I do? Who else can I be? And then start walking through the day, putting your antennas up and listening for the signs, listening for those whispers, listening and responding and relating to life, because life always speaks to you. Your soul always speaks to you. Just create space when you can listen to it. This is what I would recommend for anybody to do.
Very well said, Miss Elena, and empowering as well. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your business, your advocacy, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Yeah. So you can follow me on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram. It's Elena Visionary. That's my handle. You can also find my products, my digital courses, my programs on the website, elenavisionary.com. And you can schedule a call with me. You can join my free community. I have a free community on school called Awakened Women. And yeah, if you want to get into my space, into my sphere, I'm happy to welcome you. I meet you where you are, whether you're just starting your journey, whether you've been on your journey for a while. We can work together. And I'm putting out this masterclass called Quantum Year, where I help you to really step into that next level identity and next level energy so you can make 2026 your best year yet.
Yes, the best year. Yeah. Yes. Thank you for that, Miss Elena. I have a new podcast coming, Coaching 101. I'm inviting you to be part of it because you are a coach. And let's empower women all over the world. And thank you for that advocacy. So, Miss Elena, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Welcome, people. See you soon.